Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence. And it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean. And we are back for another episode.
Back again.
Back again. I always forget what to talk about when we want to talk about something here.
I know, because we didn't really, we did some regular shit this weekend, just like worked in the yard and
regular life shit. You had some videotapes that you found.
Yes.
Bring that up.
Yes.
Because we were actually looking through them today.
We got to find a VHS player.
Yeah. I think it's, I don't know how it got to this way, but I think it's just because of the general, I don't want to say, was it rarity or just, well, there's obviously a certain charm to VHS, but it's something we grew up with. So because that's the thing, man, like you and I always think about like our generation and like we have like all of this like experience understanding all these different mediums and stuff like that.
Yes. Many different formats.
Seeing the progression of like crusty old, like 70s brown, whatever. And, film reels with VHS. VHS wasn't even a thing for the most part. Yeah. And then it was, and then VHS for me, at least, it was like what, 86 to like 2001. It felt like,
yeah, I feel like maybe 86, 87 is when we got a VCR.
Yeah.
It's just we've seen so many things and it's like we've owned pretty much the same thing on different formats.
Right.
Many times.
Well, because I was at the point where, all this stuff gets released on Blu-ray and now it's like 4K. Yeah. So now I'm like, wow, I need, my favorite movie, but I need it in 4K, so it's like.
Well, yeah. It's like, so, I was in my parents' basement. This is where I found all these things. Yeah. Because, trying to help them tidy up stuff. And I found, obviously, my Crow, The Crow, my copy of The Crow on VHS.
It's the 30th anniversary this year.
And it is the 30th anniversary this year. So I have it there. We have it on DVD. But now I got to go out and buy the remastered, restored 4K 30th anniversary edition, obviously. So yeah, and plus I had the soundtrack on CD at one time. Now I have it on vinyl. It's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of media flying around, but it's just, I think with the VHS, it's kind of had this like resurgence amongst people like our age and just a little bit before and after. And now I think
physical media in general, just because we've been watching like shit get changed, like the Star Wars stuff, was changed and edited. So it's not the version that we originally saw, or just watching people like, what's his face, David Zaslav, just delete shit completely off of streaming services, and it doesn't exist, and you can't even buy it anywhere. It's gone.
Yeah, it's that, and also like I think about it as a wrestling fan. The WWE Network exists as a thing right now. Sure, like you can watch old matches, access a bunch of wrestling content, but there may come a day in the very near future, I think within the next year or so, where that's going to be in jeopardy. Yeah. Because of the way WWE is shifting over to Netflix, for some stuff. And, it's not going to remain the same. And I feel, and it's strange to me too, because I feel like I hear about a lot of times people report that the actual like wrestling content on the WWE Network, nobody watches.
That is weird because I feel like you're always watching it.
Well, right, but I'm like, well, what are you watching then? Because it's not like they have like a ton of documentaries on there. Like they have a lot of stuff on there, but it's not like they constantly churn that stuff out. So, I mean, are you saying that people are just going on there just to watch like the current pay-per-views? Maybe. Or whatever. I don't know where that's coming from. Like, and it's just, it might not even be worth keeping up to date anymore, because for whatever reason, I feel like wrestling fans, maybe at least the current wrestling fans, don't have as much interest in it. Like like obviously not my generation, because I'll watch old pay-per-views all day. Yeah, but, I know. But there's a lot of kids who are in their early 20s, late teens that are wrestling fans that, none of this shit actually matters. Like the history doesn't matter.
Well, maybe it doesn't matter yet. It doesn't mean that it won't matter to them one day. Maybe they're like, obviously we have AEW on right now. Jericho, Cool Dad, as I like to call him. And he's not Cool Dad anymore, which is such a bummer. But Jericho's in the ring. He's yelling at Hook or whatever. And maybe there's some 12-year-old kid where Chris Jericho is his favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And eventually he's going to get old enough to be like, wait, I want to go back and see Chris Jericho do his old shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, and that's a thing, but I worry that you're not going to have, it's not going to be as prevalent anymore. And I kind of regret getting rid of a bunch of WWE DVDs I had.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was just like, well, I'm not going to need these because they're just taking up space.
Well, that's the thing. They're taking up space. We're trying to move. And like, I got rid of so many CDs, so many DVDs, just gone.
So now I'm wondering, like, do I need to go back and buy them again? Like, actually the CDs is the thing. I don't know if CDs and tapes. I don't think I'm going to be getting back there anytime soon.
I don't think so.
I feel like because vinyl is such a, like a certain vibe to it that I feel a lot of people like, and you can remaster stuff, and you can obviously record players now have been, tweaked and everything. So now they sound better. Sure.
But I mean, I think you brought something up, and I don't remember if you were like quoting somebody or whatever, but it was like vinyl is one of those things that like you could put a record from the 1920s on a modern player and it'll still fucking play.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You could put a modern record on an old player. It's still going to play. Mm-hmm. It might sound a little odd or whatever, but
it won't sound the same, but
it's still going to work.
You could put the Crow soundtrack on a 1920s Victrola.
I absolutely could. And it is still going to work.
Yeah.
That cannot be said of tapes. That can't be said of CDs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Cause even when I was like, I was down there with my parents and my mom stumbled across like all of the pictures because apparently we just have so many. And she was like, oh, we should just scan these and then get rid of them. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't. I'm like, because what's going to happen is you're going to scan them and then we're not going to be able to get to them. Mm-hmm. Put them in the cloud and, we didn't pay the right people and then it's gone or that company went under or, no.
Well, I mean, you could put them on a hard drive, but like, but
then you can't
there might be instances where the hard drive gets compromised,
or just even like shit. I mean, I have tons of old thumb drives from when I was in grad school. Well, guess what? My current computer doesn't have a USB port.
Yeah.
I have to get an adapter.
Yeah.
So, you can always be in that situation too. It's like, no, keep the physical shit.
I mean, we used to be around for the 3 3/4 inch disc. What is it? What size was it? Those discs? What I'm talking about. Not the floppy discs, but the little ones. Yeah, the little ones.
3 1/2 or something like that. 3 1/4. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was like the media for like, it's like, oh, well, I remember going into college and learning about zip drives or just external hard drives, and it never occurred to me, that because I mean, I think about this. I still have one from grad school.
Oh, a disc?
No, a hard drive, like I think.
Yeah,
and it's like a tower hard drive, and it's only 500 gigs.
Oh, that's right.
Which is not really a lot, but I needed to get it because I needed something to put, like my files on for my extra. Mm-hmm. For my projects and stuff. So like I need to be able to have that. But in order to operate that, I need to plug it in and power it externally and then charge it into the computer. So you can't just do it all at once. And now literally you could just take like a thumb drive or just, and not even a thumb drive, like an SD disk like I have here, pop it into something without any sort of power source or anything like that, and just automatically it has all these files, which it has so much more. I know, and I know this is like
old people complaining about shit.
It's just obvious stuff, but I just think about that with the tapes because you were talking to me about the tapes that you have, and you have like these movies, and you're like, oh, we taped these off of TV.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what could this look like? Because I didn't grow up here, so like if you're taping this off of Denver TV and you're seeing like commercials from like Denver, or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure they did. That's the thing. It's because my dad would tape shit. It's like, I think we've got The Unforgiven and Josie Wales.
When I saw The Unforgiven, I thought it was the Metallica video.
That would be amazing, but no.
But I was like, it's only just like 3 minutes on a tape. It's just like, oh, I can't wait to keep this.
I think we got Hot Shots on there.
Hot Shots, yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of like movies, because that's what we used to do. Obviously, everybody used to do
the original. Well, also we have, they're not like TV versions, but we have the original Star Wars. At least I only saw
There's only the two. Yeah.
I saw the first
I don't
two,
think he has the third.
But that's a big deal.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, because, that's what we used to do. Just tape it off TV. So, I don't know what it's going to look like, but we definitely need to find a VCR so we can explore the mystery of the VHS tapes.
It is a world transformed, where things are not what they seem. Transformers!
Want to learn a bit about the Transformers? Think you know everything about Cybertron, but are looking to learn a little bit more? Enroll today at Transformers University Podcast. Each episode will tackle a piece of Transformers history, starting in 1984 and marching our way up to today. Hosted by me, Anthony Brucali, 3-time Emmy Award winner and consulting producer on Netflix's The Toys That Made Us, and lifelong Transformers fan. We'll go on a journey through cartoons and comics, toys and movies, and all the weird esoterica from around the world, chronicling the adventures of everyone's favorite robots in disguise. Listen to Transformers University on iTunes, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Transform and roll out!
Well, I will say one thing that is a physical medium that I feel like, I don't know when this is ever going to be, I don't know when this is going to be in danger of going away, but this.
Oh, yes. What are we reading this week?
Yes, this is a comic book, a physical comic book. People still, you can buy your comic books on digital, but I feel like you need to have hard copies of comics and in order to preserve all this history and resource and stuff. I
mean, I never did get that copy where you can see Batman's dong. I can't get that on digital. It doesn't exist.
No, but you can find it on.
I gotta find go on eBay and buy a hard copy for $4,000 or whatever.
Is it really $4,000?
I have no idea. I've never looked.
It might be. I don't know.
I don't remember the name of that issue, but I don't want to really just Google.
Is it Batman Eternal or something like that? Or it's a Black Label book?
It's a Black Label, but I really don't want to Google Batman dong because God only knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
My computer might explode.
So Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, number 18. We're continuing on with the Venom storyline. This is a, of course, 5-part series. So we're 3 of 5. Dennis O'Neil, Trevor Von Eden, Russell Braun, and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez are the team on this. But the cover, which we failed to talk about the cover last week. The cover of the comic last week was just Batman grinning very evilly, and it's his face in a close-up.
Because as we know of last week, he has really just fallen deep into this addiction to these Venom pills.
Correct. Yeah. So he is so addicted that he is now sitting on a chair, a comfy chair, or it looks like an office chair.
And he has the biggest of beards.
He has a nice beard. He's got shaggy hair, and he is slumped in this chair, and the pills are in a bottle, and they're falling out of his hand, onto the floor. And he's got his cowl and cape on some sort of
pedestal,
or I don't know what you would call that, but
I'm assuming it looks like a pedestal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that actually fits, the thing he probably placed it there.
It's like a wig head, but it's for the cowl.
Yeah, it's just for his wigs.
It's for
when he wants to.
I mean, the cowl could technically be a wig.
It'd be funny if it was just a Lady Gaga wig just on there.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So before we get into this, though, I want to just point out, and this is something I wasn't aware of, because I feel like I'm always aware of a lot of random miniseries. I was not aware of this OMAC one-man army corps. I know who OMAC obviously is. He's a Jack Kirby creation, and he's existed, but
not in this form, I guess.
Apparently, this is a 4-issue black and white miniseries in prestige format, which means it's suggested for mature readers.
Oh, shit.
To save the future, he must destroy the past. And you just see a bunch of war. And
there's a car. There's a car jumping, and there's it's shooting a gun. And
there's a tank. It's a tank jump. It's a Nazi. No, he's picking up. Actually, no, it's him picking up a Nazi tank.
Yeah, there's all sorts of shit going on there in the background.
But also his outfit is very different, because normally when I think of OMAC, I think of the guy in the blue and red outfit, and he's got the big mohawk.
Yeah, no.
This is just he just looks like
he looks like like James Bond and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's got like a jacket.
Had like a baby.
And he's got like, it's all black and stuff. So
he's wearing like the turtleneck and the black pants, but his boots are kind of like the knee-high ones, but he's also got the leather jacket on.
Yeah.
And he's got that like short haircut.
Yeah. I did not know this. Like I've never seen this anywhere. I don't recall ever just coming across this and just, being like, oh, wow. Yeah. Cause you come across like, there's so many miniseries when you go through like, and just random books from like the 80s and 90s that you'll come across when you're going through like, dollar boxes. And I never see this. So I just like being surprised. Mm-hmm. So, but anyways, we start off where we ended up last week, where Batman was getting the instructions to kill
Jim Gordon,
and he's complying.
Yep. He's like, can't wait. Gonna murder.
He's like, okay. Okay. So, pills.
Yeah. He's like, give me those pills.
Well, he's like, Batman's like, you know what? I'll kill him and I'll bring him to you with an apple in his mouth. And the guy's like, this doctor. I forgot what his name is.
Oh, I don't remember. Doctor guy. And then we got Slaycroft, the general. He's like, oh no, it's going to be justifiable homicide because since Gotham is so terrible right now, something. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't exactly know how that tracks, but okay.
I don't know exactly. Yeah. Is he just going to like kill him and be like, well, I had to, you know? So yeah, but, it's like 4 a.m. and Batman, tracks Jim Gordon. He's walking his dog. I got worried for the dog.
I did too. I was really worried about the dog. And so like Batman's in a tree.
He's in a tree. He's in a neighborhood tree just standing there.
And it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And he's like, oh, he must have either just gotten home or he's about to leave
from work. So he's like, blowing off steam, walking the dog. And my favorite panel here is Batman just casually leaping. Not like with like a lot of conviction, but he's just casually leaping and just saying,
I'm going to kill you. Or I'm here to kill you.
I've come to kill you.
Yeah.
And he's just jumping towards what's his face? Gordon, and Gordon's pipe falls out of his mouth.
You know what it's like? Like the way he's jumping is like, when you go swimming and you're a kid and you go on the diving board and you just kind of fall off of it.
Yeah.
Like you just go like, just fall forward. And yeah, that's kind of what he's doing.
Yeah,
you're not doing anything fancy. You're not trying to actually dive or do a cannonball. You're just falling.
Well, because you're a little kid, unless you're Michael Phelps,
Yeah.
Trying to do a nice jump. I would be afraid though, because I would be afraid that like I was gonna like fall too far.
No.
In the water, I remember one time. I don't know if I actually did it this way, but I remember like I was at a public pool and I jumped off the diving board and tried to jump as far as I could to the edge so I didn't fall in to the water.
Why?
Don't ask me that.
Okay. Because the whole point of the diving board is to jump into the water.
I know, but like I don't like having fun.
I know.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm not a fun boy. I was never a fun child. I was very concerned about everything.
Yeah, because the whole point, like I used to try to do fancy dives and shit all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, you like swimming though. I do. I'm not a water guy. I'm not an aquatic boy.
Yeah.
Aquatic boy.
You're not
a boy. Anyways,
you're not a camping boy. You're not an aquatic boy.
No, I'm not a lot of things.
You might be a recumbent bike boy.
I also like recumbent bunk.
Recumbent bunk,
which is just I guess just a bed, right?
I'm assuming that's just a bed.
I'm a bed boy.
Sean, the bed boy.
I would like a recumbent bike. I've been wanting one for a very long time.
I saw a dude riding one today.
Yeah, they're expensive though. Like really
expensive.
They're really expensive, and for something that I'm not entirely sure I will be able to get the most out of,
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what I mean? Like it's like thousands of dollars we're talking about here.
Oh yeah, it's really expensive.
And it's like also I'd have to be able to store it somewhere.
Yes, we'd have to be able to store it, but you have to. That's why I think like we need to find a place where you can rent one.
I just want to have the experience.
Well, yeah, just so you know, because what if you hate the way it feels when you sit on it? What if it hurts your back? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's entirely true.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Batman doing his graceful jumping, and he's just like, I'm here to kill you. And Bill Gordon's like, what the fuck?
Mm.
And Batman's like, well, I'm doing it because this person told me to do it, and I don't want to do it. And Gordon's like, are you okay, dude?
And he's like trying to tell Gordon what's going on, but he can't even really remember because he like closes his eyes and all this sort of stuff. And he's like, well, if I don't kill you, somebody else will. These people, and he's trying to even remember their names, are going to send somebody after you. Right. And Gordon just asks, are you okay? And he's like, Batman's grabbing him by the lapels. And it's just like, if I'm not going to get them, you got to get them. And he's, I think this is where he makes up his mind that he's going clean because he couldn't remember a name. He was like, I couldn't remember a guy's name. I have to stop doing drugs. Yeah. It was that easy, I guess. But. Yeah. He's just like, wow, I've come to this. Well, because he doesn't get there yet. So he goes back to the general, and I don't remember exactly what he tells him here. Like why he didn't bring him Jim or something. Well, no, he just comes there and he just stops them because they're about to take off. And Batman's like, no, you're going to go down to the police. You guys are going down to the police and you're going to make a confession. Like, this is what we're doing here. And I do like Batman pushing an old guy down because this general is just like, get out of my way. He's just walking by him and Batman just goes, just shoves him down on the ground. But then the doctor's like, we're not going to do that. And he like throws like a huge baggie of pills like into the bushes. So they can basically get in the car and get away. I kind of was hoping that they would have spilled to the bushes and Batman's just picking them out. Like, it's like, oh, like he's a vampire. Is that a pill? Oh, no, that's a pill bug. Oh, is that a whatever? Did you ever hear that bit about that thing about vampires that if you throw something at them, they are compelled to pick them up and count them? No. Yeah. How come that's never been on TV? Like it has. It's been on the X-Files. Oh, yes. Okay. Did they just make that up for the X-Files? No, I think it's an actual thing. Oh, okay. I was unaware of this. Yeah, I don't know if it's like from a certain country or whatever, but yeah, that's why I was like, Batman could be like a vampire, just has to like, he's compelled to pick up and count the pills. Yeah. But he gets the baggie and the guys get away and he's just like laughing hysterically. And then he's like, wait, I feel shitty. He feels shitty. He drops the drugs on the ground and then he calls Alfred from a payphone. Yeah, I mean, you got to call Alfred. Who else are you going to call? Yeah, but also I just like the idea of Batman on a payphone and some guy walking by being like, I got to call my wife. Hey, hey, weirdo, get out of there. Knocking on it, being like, hurry up, man. I need to use the phone. Just 1 minute. I'm strung out, man. So he calls Alfred and he's like, Alfred, I need you to come back to Wayne Manor. And I need you to lock me in the cave. Yeah, lock me for a month. And then so Alfred's like, okay, whatever. And then Batman hangs up and he puts his fist through the fucking phone booth. I like this drawing of he puts his fist through the phone booth and he's just got his hands over his face in anguish and it's perfectly framed so his bat is coming through this broken glass. This broken glass. It's pretty wild. Yes, it's to show how broken Batman truly is. So he goes to the cave and Alfred's like, oh, so you're sure? Like a whole month? He's like, yep, no matter what happens, don't let me out. And he's like, well, what about the other exits? And he's like, well, I bricked them up. And he's also, Alfred's also like, you got enough like food and water. He's like, of course I do, stupid. Yeah. I mean, not like that, but it's just his tone. He's just very, an asshole. Like, he's just like, don't let me out. And like, if like Batman was like, or Alfred was like, do you have enough like clean underwear? And do you have like, I don't know, like mouthwash? Are you going to take showers? Like, how are you going to take showers? Mm-hmm. I don't think he does. No, I don't. Apparently he does not. And apparently he doesn't bring any more clothes, as we're going to see. No. So you think there'd be other clothes down there? You think if he's just like, oh man, this is really itchy. Maybe I'll just put on. I mean, like, I don't know where his question trench coat went. Oh, that's true. Yeah. It should be down there. You would assume. I left your question down. Your question costume. Your Vic Sage trench coat down there for you, Master Wayne. Yeah, this book is a little odd. It's kind of we're just like gathering up for the end. Yeah, we're basically. So we're at a lull right now. This is part 3. This is stage setting is what we're doing. We're just moving the pieces to where they need to be so the rest of the story can happen. Well, Batman also is getting, this is one where he gets clean. Well, yeah, but I mean that's we're getting him clean so he can be ready to do the rest of the book. Although I wonder what, again, we talked about last week, like what else is going to happen? Because I mean, okay, so if he gets clean here and he's ready to go back at it, you'd think the next issue would be like the end of it, but it's not going to be. No, it's not. No, of course. Maybe Batman will learn a lesson, and that's what the 5th one will be. Yeah. So as Batman is...
It's just Batman. The fifth issue is just Batman like sitting cool teacher style.
He just turns the chair around and he's like, come on, audience, let's rap about saying no to drugs.
Let's rap about dope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me tell you why it's bad. But so
he turns his cowl backwards because he's not wearing a hat.
He turns his cowl backwards and it just covers his face.
He's just trying to talk through it.
He just can't see.
Because he's trying to be cool. He doesn't have a hat to put on backwards.
I think you put on everything backwards, right? You just crisscross everything.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You just crisscross everything.
Yeah.
He just puts all of it on backwards and starts talking to kids about drugs.
Yeah. It'd be great. Batman here to talk about drugs. Batman's here we got Batman, the dark knight here to talk to you about drugs today in class, and he's gonna rap with you guys for a little bit, and you just see him with he has a cowl, the regular cowl on, but then he has another cowl on top of that, and he just kind of like lifts it up and turns it around, but it's still on top of it, so it's like super high.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I'm just thinking this is very stupid.
It is very stupid.
But anyway, so Batman's in there for a month.
I'm assuming we're on whatever island Bane is from, which I can't remember.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to point this out because Batman, or these three other idiots.
Yeah, the general, the doctor, and the general's kid.
His giant son.
His giant boy.
They're going to Santa Prisca.
That's what it is.
Santa Prisca, which that's the thing, right? So, correct. This is where Bane is currently in prison.
Yeah, and this is the whole thing where this is where Bane is supposed to be from.
Yes.
Yes, from this island. So they take him here, and this kid's dumb, but he meets this very nice local girl. Mm-hmm. While all that's happening, the doctor and the general are kind of like hatching this plan to basically do experiments on this kid with this Venom drug. Yeah,
because they didn't get what they wanted out of Batman. I think the next step was like surgery,
which we see here,
and Batman didn't follow through, so
now it's this kid.
Now it's this kid, just this poor dopey kid.
We're just basically cutting back and forth between like Alfred trying to figure out if Bruce is ready to come out, and this kid and what's going on with him.
I do want to say though, his conversation with this girl, this Consuela,
he's a simple boy.
There's a lot of how would you say? I guess one of my favorite sayings from Andy from Every Time I Die said they call it shinfo. Did I ever tell you about shinfo?
Mm-mm.
Where basically it's like explaining something, and just instead of saying, "Hey, I went to the store, and I bought some milk," you'd be like, "Well, I had to. So I was going to go to the store, and I was going to the store, and I had to get some my keys, and my keys were hidden in my purse, or they were hidden in my whatever, and all that stuff. That's all shinfo. They call it shitty info.
I got you, shinfo. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what this kid's talking about. This kid is
just spewing shinfo to this girl, and he's like, well, I'm Timothy, but my father's also name is Timothy, and I have a junior at the end of my name.
But my dad doesn't have a junior.
My dad doesn't have a junior because he's my father.
That one panel up there at the top where his face is just like like the way they
it's a very derpy face.
It's a derp face.
It's a very derpy face. It's very unfortunate. Mm-hmm. So we're back to Batman. Alfred is just forlorn because it's been only 10 days.
Yeah.
And he is listening in on the intercom for Batman. He just hears a bunch of grunts.
Yes.
And everything.
But I think the most important thing that comes out of this like back and forth, because that's kind of what we do, is that they give this kid a bunch of venom. He is mean to Consuela. And then they're like, well, we're going to do the surgery on him.
This is the first instance, at least that we could see, because the kid's trying to lift, like 100 pounds on a dumbbell, and he can't.
Trying to lift the weights.
And the father's like, fuck him, and the doctor's like, well, I got I have it in juice form.
Yes, now it's liquid.
You can inject it into his veins. You don't have to take the pills.
Right.
So that is a good thing. And obviously, we know Venom, goes through the tubes.
Yes.
And goes into Bane. Mm-hmm. So, we're just kind of we're not only just introducing Venom, but we're introducing, it's kind of like it's evolution, which I like.
Yeah.
And he's getting stronger though. Like he's getting
getting stronger because the liquid venom seems to be working much better than the pill version.
Well, I just want to say real quick, this kid, so he's improving in his weights, and he's not saying anything, but the father and the doctor are talking, and you could tell he's uncomfortable with this, but like, the doctor's like, well, I put it into his veins. And he's like, well, the general's like, well, we need to start doing the surgery.
Yep. Surgery is the next step.
This kind of freaks me out because this kid's walking out and I would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Because I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because the doctor says, like, hard to say. Remember, this is an experiment. If all goes well, I'll start the insertions.
Yes.
It's like, ew, insertions.
Yeah. Of what? It's really,
like little pumps.
Well, I mean,
little pacemakers.
We'll see later, but it seems like
they're everywhere.
They're bulletproof, like whatever you make bulletproof vests out of. That's what they implanted him with.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
But also his father's like, will you survive? And the doctor's like, does it matter?
And his dad's like, nope.
Which we already know.
Dad doesn't care.
Yeah, dad doesn't care, but also the doctor doesn't care about any of his family.
Nope.
Because his daughter was drowned.
He didn't care.
In the sewer, and he doesn't care.
So he's like on all this stuff. He's really mad with Consuelo, and she's like, I don't want to see you anymore. And the general's like, don't worry. She doesn't really have a choice. Time to take you back and do the surgery.
Yeah.
So they do the surgery, and then he comes out with like all these like Frankenstein thingies.
Yeah, he takes off the bandages.
And so he comes out of the surgery and takes off his bandages.
He looks so sad too.
And he does. And his father just goes, my son. And then they have this panel of him just picking up, like the dad picking up a gun and just shooting him.
And I thought he was like, I pity him. Boom.
Right. An abomination. No, he's testing to see if whatever these implant things are.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Work.
And he shoots him a few times in the chest, and I guess it doesn't really do much. It's kind of working. And like this doctor going with a bunch of scissors, just like stab.
Yeah, because what does he say? He says he's bleeding, which we expected, but the material, he says something about that.
Yeah, there's the material. It's
he says something here. He says this is why I think it's like an implant, not of like venom, but of something, I don't know.
Because it's something that affects
he shoots him and he's like, okay. He's like, very good. The bullets broke the skin. We expected that. But the subcutaneous inserts are barely dented. So is he shoving like whatever bulletproof vests are made of in there?
Yeah,
or is it like a silicone implant, but like hard? Like what is it?
Could you imagine
like
that?
Like a bouncy ball? Like
I'm surprised there hasn't been like a police experiment where that's like, hey, what if RoboCop, instead of RoboCop, we just put a bunch of like police vests under a cop's skin, and then he could never get shot.
Yeah, and if he gets shot, it'll be okay because it won't go any farther than like
he'll be in constant pain, and then he'll be wishing that he was dead, but he won't get shot. He'll live, except it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Batman finally, Alfred lets him out, and he's coming up the stairs. And you just see his eyes.
He's like a monster.
He's like a monster, and Alfred's like, gasp.
Yeah, because he's like got long hair and like the stupidest of beards.
He looks like Vandal Savage.
Yeah, it's really weird because it's like it's like he has a lion's mane because for some reason like that's
the only been a month. I mean, would you think
I don't know. Maybe Bruce Wayne's one of those guys who can really grow a beard quick.
He'll grow a beard, but also grow like
hair.
I mean, because I feel like if I went a month, my hair would not grow
not that long,
that much. I mean, granted, he already had hair enough to begin with, but this is like a lot.
Yeah, it's like down to his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, you've lost weight," and his bat suit's all ripped up. He must not have showered, changed, or whatever.
No.
And
even though he has got plethora of clothes and snacks, and maybe at least some soap or maybe something where some sort of sanitizer.
I mean, I would assume
because he's down in the Batcave. You can't just be messing with stuff and just.
Well, that's what I mean. Because like
I
always,
be a bathroom in the Batcave.
That's always what I assumed. I always assumed that there must be some sort of bathroom / shower in the Batcave. Because like if you get sprayed with I don't know that like Joker shit or Scarecrow stuff, you're not going to want to track it through your mansion.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like and also like. You're not going to have Alfred have to every time Batman gets, sprayed with
whatever poison ivy's
crap or whatever. He has to like Alfred has to, or Joker gas, like Alfred has to like run up the stairs, get the water, come back down.
Right.
Oh, this is the right one, or get whatever.
Get a bucket. There has to be a bathroom in the Batcave. There just has to be.
There has to be a bathroom in the Batcave.
So, but apparently he did not use it. And Alfred's like, well, sir, why don't we get you like a big steak? And he's like, no, I want to take a nice hot, like long shower. And then I want some tea. And then I'm just going to sit out.
You want some toast and some hot tea.
Yeah.
And he's going to sit outside in the sun.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I'm down for the deer steak because he's like venison steak and new potato. I don't. What is new potatoes?
Maybe like a young potato.
I guess. I don't know. The potatoes are just a potato, right?
I don't know. Maybe he's talking like one of those. You know how sometimes I bought the bags that have the multicolored little potatoes in them?
Okay.
Maybe those.
So can you just say like small, can't you just say potatoes? Why new potatoes confuses me?
Maybe he's just trying to like invoke the small tender potato.
Is that a thing?
Unlike the baking potato.
If you were like chopped and they could open it up the basket and it's like new potatoes, like,
well, I mean,
I wouldn't know what the fuck they are.
But it's true. I mean, like you can't do everything with the new small potato that you could do with like a russet. Like I can't make a baked potato out of one of those tiny ass little, potatoes.
I don't know, man.
So maybe that's what they're trying to invoke is like the difference.
Batman kind of turns it down though, and I'm disappointed because I would be like, Alfred.
Yeah, he just wants tea and toast. I'm like,
Alfred, I want you to airlift me a crate of chicken finger subs from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Yeah.
I will eat them all until I get swole again. But yeah, now we're back at the play. I only figure this. It's San Corsica? I want to make sure I get this right.
I thought you said with a P.
It's a P. San Pedro?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Santa Prisca.
There it is.
Santa Prisca. It's in the Caribbean. And it's it's a very volatile island, which apparently I feel like every island in the DC universe, no matter where it is, most likely in the Latin America somewhere, is volatile.
Yeah.
Everything is volatile.
Oh, 100% in these books, yes.
Anyway,
it's too bad it's not Santa Mira.
Oh, actually,
which is the town from Halloween 3.
Oh man.
And other movies. Apparently, it also pops up in other movies.
They're just implanting those bug creating patches into his skin.
Yeah,
and he just all of a sudden starts shooting beams out and making everybody else turn into bugs. I was going to say there really is not a huge amount of difference in what's going on here and what goes on in Halloween 3, except there's witches involved in Halloween 3. Are there witches?
I mean, witches.
They mentioned Samhain, but it's not really witches.
But he's supposed to be a witch. I think that's the idea. And like
he's a warlock.
Right. Something Stonehenge also.
Season of the Warlock, it should be called. Yeah, but Stonehenge. They bring Stonehenge entirely over.
And it's going to, I don't know. I guess they put it in the mask so all those kids will turn into bugs.
Man, that'd be great if there's an issue of like Action Comics where Superman finds out Stonehenge has been stolen and he has to go to Santa Miro and
he's got to hang out with that guy.
Yeah, he has to hang out with Tom Atkins.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the actor who plays like the witch or warlock or whatever. I don't remember that guy's name. I forgot his name.
It's yeah. No, I do like the idea of DC Comics presents Superman and Tom Atkins.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
or Dr. Why forget his name?
Oh, I don't remember. But
Dr. Char.
I don't know, but he's drinking
Chalice. Dr. Chalice.
He's a drunk. That's all I remember.
It's just to cover. It's just Superman and Tom Atkins flying, and Tom Atkins is carrying the 6 of road sodas.
Yeah, 100%. All the Miller High Lifes that he's grabbing before running into that car. It's a great movie.
If I don't know if this exists, but if there is a comic book adaptation of Halloween 3,
oh my god, I would love it.
I would like to see it.
I would also like to see it.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was in Santa Miro now.
Yeah, right.
Stop it!
Stop it!
Batman just going, stop it!
Oh, that's amazing. That's why he was yelling at these drugs. Stop it!
The Venom is on Channel 3 still. Turn it off!
Turn it off!
Turn it off!
Turn it off! Turn it off! Stop it!
Stop it. Oh, what joy. Anyways, these idiots, they're observing this kid basically have like a roid rage against this girl.
Oh yeah, he turns her into a smear.
He smears her. He chokes. He's got her in a goozle, and then he smacks her. He gives her a pimp hand, and then she's
He smashes her against a wall and she just smears.
It's just a big smear and they're
dead.
like, cool.
They're like, yeah, great. Now he's evil, beefy boy.
He's evil, beefy boy. And now we're back at the Batcave.
And he's Batman's back up to his full strength.
He's getting back to full strength. We don't get like a time jump here, though.
We do get a time jump.
We do get a time jump, but I didn't really know.
It doesn't tell you how long.
Yeah, I was confused by that a little bit.
Yeah, because it says, because when he first comes out of the cave, Alfred's like, oh, sir, you've lost some weight. You should write a diet book or whatever. And now he's like, oh, sir, you've put back on some muscle. So it's been long enough for him to, put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah, he's looking a bit more swole now, and he's probably eating a bunch of more tea and toast.
Yeah.
That's his, that's his book. It's the tea and toast diet. Doctors hate him. Doctors can't stand this one trick he knows.
He's going to go on Dr. Oz, peddles some fucking snake oil bullshit.
He's on Joe Rogan talking about it. Yeah, so Batman, you ever tried DMT?
But you know what? I know you say venison, but really, it's tea and toast.
Tea and toast, but also, is there elk involved?
Nope, just tea and toast.
You should put you should have elk and toast.
No, man, it's got to be the tea and toast.
Just an entire elk on a piece of toast.
If you don't do the tea and toast, then you don't get to the swollenness that I have achieved.
That's true. Batman definitely putting the butter in his coffee every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Master Wayne, you've put too much butter in this coffee. I can't get it to churn.
Ew.
It's just a hunk of garbage in this percolating pot.
It's like a fucking yogurt pop. like you just stick a spoon in and you pop it out. And it looks like a fucking ice cream thing. And you're like, oh no, that's just butter. That's disgusting.
Actually, I don't know if Batman would be so much a butter guy. I think he would be like Dwayne Johnson, I think in Hobbs and Shaw, when he just takes his teaspoon out of the coffee and just eats it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he goes.
Gross.
Oh boy. Anyways, Batman is like, let's go to work. We get a big face shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's ready to get to work.
He's ready to get to work. Next issue, he was at his height of strength, of power, of obsession. Now he's weak, drained. What can he possibly do if he's placed in a death trap? Sometimes temptation is the greatest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking ahead to that, and I think that should be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the one where the cover of it is Batman fighting a shark.
Oh, neat. We always love that.
I always like superheroes fighting actual animals.
Mm-hmm.
Not like superhero, like mutant animals where just like, hey, Batman's fighting a bear. It's like, cool. I think the bear will win, but Batman might figure something out.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's it for the Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, number 18 from May 1991. I, again, look forward to completing this. I've been enjoying it.
I also want Batman v Shark. If we don't get Batman v Shark, I'm going to be sad.
I mean, well, I was actually concerned because the cover of this, implies the beard. And I was like, as I started going through it, I was like,
what if there's no beard?
What if there's no beard?
But there was a beard. But there was a beard. They delivered on the promise of the cover.
Yeah, so
I'm assuming the shark will appear.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Shark v Batman, and it's gonna be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I forgot to do the
thing at the front of the show.
Thing at the front of the show.
Yeah.
Now that's why nobody pays attention to us.
I'm sorry.
On Instagram, because they don't know about it. They're already done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Instagram and Twitter at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on all the things.
And also you can find us on a bunch of podcast platforms, including YouTube, which is now updated every week. You can check out the audio version on YouTube, just a static image of our logo, but it's right there and all the episodes are up there. And it's a pretty cool thing. But if you're on your standard podcast platforms, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, please give us a review. Please give us a rating. And tell your friends. That would be really appreciated. So once again, folks, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.